What's up, everyone? How are you? Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Let me know where you're from, what you're up to. Hi from New Jersey. Hey, Maria. Hope you're doing well. We'll get started in just a second. Hello from Nashville in South Carolina. Very nice. In Chi-Town. Look at that. We got people from everywhere here. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, California. Oh, it's early there. Very nice. Let me get started. If I can. What's up, everyone? How are you? All right, I think we got this settled here. Well, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. So I got to kind of be a little bit quieter tonight. I hope you can still hear me. I'm at home tonight, and so I have my two kids. I have a 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old, and my 5-month-old, kind of just in the rooms just next to me down the hall. So I'm gonna try my best not to wake them up. But if you happen to hear like a crying baby, you'll know why. So yeah, don't wake the baby. Definitely not. Never wake the baby. So first, I hope everyone's having a great start to the school year. I think everyone's probably started by now since it's after Labor Day. Usually everyone starts by then. I hope you're having a great first few days or first few weeks and meeting all the kids and the families. So it's been a great first couple of weeks for me at Wake Forest. For this semester, I have several classes, and my student teachers are out in the field, and they're getting kind of just thrown in right into the trenches. One of my student teachers, her cooperating teacher, was absent today, and so it was just kind of her. They had a substitute that was supposed to come in and kind of didn't, and so day like 6 of her student teaching, it's her. So just thrown into the fire, but they're doing well. So I got to catch you up on from last time. Some of y'all joined me for my last Periscope where we talked about the book Made to Stick, and I told you guys about how we were going to have all these exciting things with ways to make people stick, or ways to make ideas stick. And that's kind of the premise of tonight as well. It kind of carries over because as a part of this class, what I'm doing is each Thursday during the course of this book, I am having what I call quick fire challenges. And this was kind of inspired by Top Chef. I don't watch Top Chef, but my wife does, and so it's been in the background before. And so if there's any Top Chef fans out there, you're going to probably know what's going on here. So the idea behind a quick fire challenge is you have limited supplies, limited time, and kind of a lot of mystery behind it to make something happen in a short amount of time. And it's got to be good. It's got to be great. And you just got to make it happen, right? So that's how I installed this into my course, into my first year seminar, and it's using the book Made to Stick. So what I've done is each week I have been bringing in different people from around campus, leaders. I've been bringing leaders from my university, from Wake Forest University, and each week they are presenting a challenge to the students. And the students. I have 17 in that class. They are divided up into 4 groups, and they have no clue who their teammates are until we start. And so once we start, they have 30 minutes, and they just got to make the challenge happen. So today's Thursday, and so we had our second challenge today. Last week, we had the director of the Office of Sustainability, which kind of looks at ways to make Wake Forest like greener and more efficient, energy, clean, the whole 9 yards there. And so the students had to come up with a slogan, a single, simple slogan for their entire department. They do so many different things, but the students had to come up with a slogan. And so actually, I want to show you here. I'm going to flip you back around, and I'm going to show you the slogan the winning team came up with. And so they came up with, "Wake up, we are the future of the forest." And so it embodied kind of a pun with Wake Forest, but of course, looking at sustainability. And we really like the we there. The we, because it empowers. That's their mission statement in the office, is empowerment. And so this group they just got it. Of really embodying what the challenge was, what they tied it into the book, in keeping it simple, and also tying it into the Office of Sustainability. So that was really cool. Today, I had I don't know if I'm going to get her title right, but it's the food and catering manager of Wake Forest. So she kind of oversees all the food on campus. And so she came in today and she said, in college, and some of y'all may remember this too, in college we kind of become creatures of habit. We go to the same line every day, we get the same food. I know I did. The Subway lady when I was in college knew my order as I was walking up. She's like, BMT, add bacon, no cheese. Well, yes, ma'am. And so that we just become creatures of habit. So she said one of the most successful days that she does is when she has something unexpected. And that's the chapter that we've been reading this week is something unexpected. And so today, the students had to come up with an unexpected menu or theme or event for the pit, which is one of our dining halls at campus. And the winning team today, they came up with a 1950s sock hop called, I got to remember the name of it, it's Split in the Pit. And the idea behind it was they would walk into the pit and there'd be this like big banana split ice cream line, and all the servers there would be wearing like poodle dresses and 1950s gear. There'd be kind of sock hop kind of music going on. So that was the winning team today. I thought that was really cool. So how does this apply to your room? So I was kind of thinking, well, these quick fire challenges, these don't have to just be like special guests coming in, but they can, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I was trying to think of ways that you can also incorporate this room. So I'm going to turn you back around again and share a few ideas that I had for your classrooms. By the way, you all see my bumpo in the back. Anyone have the bumpo at home? That's my son's favorite little seating place there. So I came up with some quick fire challenges that I want to share. The first one is the story challenge. So what if you gave your students, and sorry, this is going to be shaky because I'm holding it, but what if you had your students and give them 5 words or a sentence, and in their quick fire challenge, in a group that was undetermined, so it was a completely random group, they have no idea who's in their group, they have to come up with a story in, say, 30 minutes based on those 5 words or that one sentence. And maybe some of you might do like vocab of the week, wordly wise, or some kind of program like that. Maybe they can use some of those words to build the story. Then a STEAM challenge. Some of you might be in schools that encourage you to use technology, and you're probably familiar with STEAM: science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. So what if you had a challenge where you'd give the students a bunch of random supplies, just a ton of random garbage, and they had to, in their 30 minutes, come up with something that flies. All right, something that flies. And so you could tie this obviously into your science curriculum as well with, some of you have air and space in your curriculum or your standards. Some of you may have force and motion. You could tie that into so many different things. What if you had a campaign speech challenge? Now, I think this is a bit more geared towards maybe middle school and high school, the upper grades. So pretend that you had a politician, say Mitt Romney's coming to your town, or Hillary Clinton's coming to your town, or Donald Trump is coming to your town. And obviously when a campaign or when politicians come to towns, they are looking to really get the voters to buy into what they're speaking, and oftentimes they do that by talking about the cities. So no one knows cities better than the kids that live there. So what if the students had to write a speech for that politician, and it had to be very geared towards your city or your town or your state? And how about the grocery shopping challenge? So this is a math related thing. So y'all ever been to the grocery store and they have those like little magazines where it's all with what's on sale and what's the featured products this week? So what if you gave every group $10 or $20 or $100, and they had to come up with the most well-rounded shopping list that they could, that includes tax, that fits in your budget? So a lot of math that goes involved there, but not only math, a lot of planning and teamwork and discussion. And that's what these quick fire challenges are all about. It's not an individual, it's a team challenge, it's a group challenge. And then what if you had a poem into song music challenge? Now I want to think of like our special, so I don't know, is anyone here a music teacher or really loves music? So what if, or orchestra or band, what if you took a poem and you had 30 minutes to turn it into a song that can be played using the instruments that the kids are playing? Now, unfortunately, my musical talent tapped out in 4th or 3rd grade when I was playing the recorder, mainly because I couldn't even play the recorder. But some people are very musically challenged out there. And background. What if you turned a poem into a musical challenge, and whatever instruments they had to come up with the right chords and notes. I don't even know if those are the right words for music because I am so musically inept. But what if they had a chance to really come up with turn a poem, something that they've analyzed, into that song? Just a few ideas there, tried to hit up all the subjects, but think of your grade, your content, what your interests are, and the idea of these quickfire challenges really are bringing teams together that may not even work together sometimes. You know, friends sometimes get together, sometimes they don't. And then at the end of the day, they have such a crunch amount of time to make this happen. There's pressure. There's supposed to be pressure there because they have to perform under pressure sometimes. It's a great way, in a fun, lighthearted kind of way, to make it happen. Now, like I said before, I've been bringing in people from around the campus, right? I've been bringing in people who are leaders in our community and in our campus. Sometimes you could do that as well. So I'm going to turn you back around again and give you a few more ideas. So what if you had some guests come in from your school? So, you know, our janitors are such important people in our school, but oftentimes, y'all, I'm going to be honest, they get left out of a lot of the cool stuff. So why don't we bring them in? Why don't we bring our janitors in and really let them be leaders? And so this first one is the Janitor Cleanliness Challenge. So the janitor comes in and presents maybe a challenge that he or she faces at the school, or something that is a focus at the school. And after he or she presents the challenge, they get to judge at the end which group came up with the best proposal, or the best solution, or the best answer to his or her question or challenge. A cool way to get all the stakeholders in the school involved. So the Assistant Principal Safety Challenge is the next one I had there. And this one is where the assistant principal can come in, because, you know, assistant principals, they deal with the 3 B's: books, butts, and buses. And so this one looks at kind of the buses. And they came in and they present a challenge where the students have to come up with a way to make bus safety more efficient, or maybe getting to the buses. I don't know, do any of your schools struggle with like safety getting to the buses? Maybe the hallway's a mess, or it's too loud, or you know, maybe it's just not efficient. So the students have to come up with a method or an idea or a solution to making bus transportation or getting to the buses or carpool more efficient and more safe. This next one is really cool, the previous grade level teacher challenge. So if you teach, say, 7th grade, you invite a 6th grade teacher that, you know, maybe some of your students had into your classroom. And that teacher says to your class, you know, my students are getting so excited for 7th grade, but, you know, I'm not sure what they need to know. And so in your groups, I want you to come up with the top 10, say, math concepts that my students need to know by the time or when they get to 7th grade. And so really what the challenge is not for the 6th graders, but for the 7th graders, right? And so the 7th graders would be really reflecting on the things that they've been doing all year. And in the process, they are, you know, kind of quizzing themselves. They're showing what they know and do they understand it. So you're bringing in the former teacher to kind of set the challenge, set the tone for the challenge. The last one is my absolute favorite, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of. So we talked about the janitor sometimes getting forgotten in the mix. This last one brings in the cafeteria workers, and I bet y'all have some characters, because I know I always did in all the schools I've worked in. Some of those ladies and men that work in the cafeteria, they are some great people. And I love trying to include everyone in my school in my classes. And so what if you asked your cafeteria person to come into your class and present their challenge? And the challenge could be kind of like what I did today with my students. Make a menu. Make a menu for the best lunch that you could possibly imagine. If you had to dream up a lunch that everyone in the school would just die for, what would it be? And so they have to come up with a menu. And so here you can incorporate some writing skills as well. Maybe if you teach some figurative language, you could have the students come up with unique names for the sandwiches and the side dishes. So it's not just like fries, but it's the friendly French fry frenzy or something like that. So you're working on alliterations, and you could throw figurative language and writing into all of that. So those are just a few ideas, of course, but the idea behind these quick fire challenges is that you're really pushing your students' limits. You're taking things that they know on a surface level, and so instead of recall and regurgitation, you're bringing it up a level to higher order thinking. And the cool part for me, at least, teaching college is that they kind of understand that. They're like, Mr. DeVico, for so many classes, we just have to read and take a test. This is so much fun because we're not just taking tests here. We're taking what we read and we're applying it to real life things, to real world scenarios, and that's pretty cool. So I've really enjoyed doing it with the students, and I think they've enjoyed it as well. And I always give immediate feedback. I select a winner, because sometimes we got to select who did best. I give feedback on what worked well, what didn't. I'll tell you all, my biggest struggle right now, I kind of fussed at him a little bit today. I went a little bit old school Ron Clark Academy on my students today. I fussed at him because I keep telling them part of my evaluation is how you present. And a lot of them keep hiding in the corner, and I say over and over and over, you better not hide in the corner. You step up, you step forward, and you're confident. And a lot of them aren't there yet, so I'm going to keep pushing them until they are. So that's a little bit about my quick fire challenges. I hope you maybe inspired you to come up with something that works for you. Feel free to something that you'd like there. Feel free to take that. Do you have any questions or comments or anything that you want to know or brainstorm before we wrap it up? So as you're typing, I'm going to give one last quick shout out to Hope King and myself. Next Friday, the day is almost there. Some of you know Hope King and I from the Ron Clark Academy have been working really, really hard on coming up with something called the Reading Bucket List. And next Friday, is the big reveal. Next Friday, Hope and I are going to have a Periscope. We're not exactly sure what time. I think it's probably going to be between 8 and 8:30 next Friday, and we will talk all about it. Geography. That's a great idea there to incorporate. My job at Wake Forest, I'm a clinical professor there. And so the clinical professor role, it's a teaching role, which is what I'm about. But I get to work with I get to work with freshmen this year, but I also work with our seniors who are student teaching. STEAM ideas besides what you share at 5th grade. Okay, so 5th grade, I don't know what state you're in, but in North Carolina when I taught 5th grade, we did ecosystems, we did force and motion, we did weather, and I'm forgetting one. But what if you did something along the lines of ecosystems and maybe design an ecosystem out of like clay or something, or they have to design or ecosystem out of go outside. Ooh, how about this? Go outside and using only, especially if you're like in the wood, if you have some woods around and hopefully not anything too dangerous, you can have the kids actually create an ecosystem out of the nature in front of them. And afterwards they'd have to describe what they did and who would live there and why they'd live there, how they would survive. But using ecosystems in a real life setting. That's totally off the cuff. I don't even know if that made sense, but I was just thinking of 5th grade stuff from my past experience. So maybe that made sense, maybe not. So, once again, I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening, and you're all doing well. I saw someone starting school tomorrow and doing Special. That's awesome. If you're not familiar with Special, download the Ron Clark Academy app. It's free. It's a great resource. Teachers are going nuts on this app. It's a great thing to just collaborate and really develop your own professional learning through collaborating with others. And if you look under resources, look under my name, you'll see what Special is there. So, good luck with that. All right, y'all. Have a great evening. I'll talk to y'all soon. See you next Friday. Bye-bye.